All right, guys, day 3. I'm getting ready to knock my 100 curls and 100 hex press out. I wanted to give a quick update on how I'm feeling. I actually went ahead and slept in a little bit this morning, and so I'm feeling pretty good. I woke up, drank my pre-workout, got ready, got dressed, and headed out to the garage. So I wanted to go ahead and get into a couple other things. One thing I wanted to do today, we're going to try a new version of how to knock these out. So first off, the first day, I did all 100 curls. The second, and then the next step was knock out all 100 hex press. Yesterday, day 2, I went ahead and did sets of 10 of each until I knocked out 100 of each of them. Today, I'm going to do something a little different. It's something I really enjoy being able to use to get to 100 reps very easily. It doesn't exhaust your body in the same way as doing, sets of 10, 20, whatever, even sets of 5. What it is it's a ladder. A lot of people have done it for push-ups, different things like that. One of my favorite things to use it for is doing pull-ups. 100 pull-ups seems crazy to a lot of people, but if you're able to do a pull-up, if you're able to do 5, 10 pull-ups, you can easily get to 100 pull-ups if you use the ladder format. Essentially, you're doing one, and then you take either 1 second, 1 minute break, whatever you need to recoup. And as you go along, you go 1, 2, 3, all the way up until you're doing a rep at 10 count. And at that 10 count rep, you can take 10 seconds, 10 minutes, whatever you need. Whether you're spreading that ladder out throughout your whole day, or whether you're cramming it all into one small time, stretch it out, massage out your biceps, your pectorals, and then jump back up on the bar and do it again. I've been able to do a push-up, pull-up ladder, and I ended up getting 100 push-ups, 100 pull-ups, and it was just under 20 minutes. So it's something that definitely makes it much more attainable for people that can't just sit down and knock out sets of 25 especially for pull-ups. 25 push-ups is something that's definitely reasonable, but whenever you ask somebody if they can do 25 pull-ups, typically that most people cannot. Alright, so I've used the ladder to knock out 1 through 10. So now I'm going to be going back down from 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Definitely feeling it. I'd say up until I got to 5, 6 somewhere, I could have just kept going. I tried to make sure to try to pace myself. Now that I've knocked out the 1 through 10 and I've got 9 down, I'm definitely slowing down, you can see. So now, just try to keep up a decent pace. The first section took about 10.5 minutes, so roughly 10 minutes after I set up to go 1 through 10. Now to go back down. now made it to 10 and back down to 1. I think at the very last one, I did 2 rounds of 1s. I just wanted to make sure I got them in. I lost count. I was trying to track every other or every third rep. My arms, especially up around my shoulder, wiped. I'm definitely feeling it. But I will say that 22 minutes. So it took me 22 minutes to knock out curls and hex press, 35-pound dumbbell, from 1 to 10 and back as a ladder format. That was definitely the quickest, and day 3 being the day that, you know, out of the 3 days that I've worked out doing this format, it's the day that, you know, in theory I should be the most worn out. I definitely am starting to notice my body adapting to it. It knows that it's coming. Somewhere about halfway through every time, yesterday and today, my brain was already trying to talk me out of, you know, finishing. My body was already feeling it. And then once I made it to that 10, you know, I was really wiped. But then it's a lot easier going back down. So the sets of 10, well, it helped break it up throughout the whole time. Instead of doing the 100, then the 100 of each individual exercise. The 10 definitely helped, the 10 reps of each. The ladder format, being able to do 1 and 1, 2 and 2, all the way up and down the ladder, definitely made it come quicker, but also not seem as insurmountable. I was able to get to that 10. By the time, like I said, it was 6, 7, 8, I was starting to really feel it. By the time I got to 10, I was wiped. But by the time I got back down to like 7, I was already seeing that light at the end of the tunnel, being able to say, you know, each round I'm getting less reps that I'm having to do. So by the very end, like I said, I miscounted. I was pretty sure I had the last rep count of 1 for each. I went ahead and did another one of each just to be sure that I did hit that 100 mark. I'm definitely feeling the pump from the pre-workout. I don't feel it near as intense, but again, that's because it was 1 scoop as opposed to the 2 scoops of the 6-star. But it's more in each scoop, so, you know, kind of got pros and cons. Like I said, if I keep this route, it would be 30 servings. Tomorrow I might go ahead and try seeing if I can wolf down, you know, essentially 16 ounces with 2 scoops to see if I feel that interacts with the workout and it makes me a little bit better at it. See if I'm able to notice any big difference, see if any endurance change, anything like that. Not 100% sold. See how my stomach feels when I wake up tomorrow. I usually don't want to wake up and eat or drink a ton. I'll have a couple sips of water and usually a couple cups of coffee. I'm trying to move my workouts all to the morning. I've been furloughed for the last month. Next week I go back to work. Good and bad. Won't have as much time to sit out here in the middle of the day working out, so I've got to either squeeze it in before I get to work or after I go to work. Luckily I work from home, so some days I might even do a mix of getting the 100 throughout the day, but that's just not how I like to work out. I like to work out and be able to focus and concentrate on it. So maybe someday that, you know, if I feel like I'm going to be pressed for time due to schoolwork, because I do go to school, I work from home, and then I also do online education for college courses. So one day maybe I have a lot of stuff. I know the finals are coming up in the next couple weeks, so got a lot of work to get done. So maybe one of those days I'll try to just mix it in throughout the day. And those days I probably won't even take any pre-workout, but I'm definitely feeling good now. I think I'm going to try to hit some pull-ups, might even knock out some bench. I'm definitely going to hit the ab lounger, get 100 reps on that. I'll probably take the ab wheel and see what I can do on that. Probably won't get anywhere near 100 on that. The main thing I'm noticing is the front area of my shoulders. Definitely feeling it. Definitely feeling it in my pecs. Really feeling it in my biceps. I'd say biceps and the front of my shoulder area where my bicep attaches. Those are the areas I'm feeling it most. That's why I definitely think I'm going to be able to knock out some bench press. One thing I meant to mention earlier is you can see that I've got it kind of at a slight incline on my bench while I'm doing the hex press. What I plan on doing is every few days changing that. Basically what I do is a lot of times I'll just do flat bench for a while, a week or so, and then I'll bump it up to the high incline, the highest incline my bench has. Do that for 3-4 days a week, and then drop it down one setting. Do this for 3-4 days to a week, and then drop it down to that flat. And I just kind of rotate through so that I'm hitting different angles, but I'm not to where I'm going to make it a religious situation where I'm saying, one day I'm doing this, tomorrow I'm going to do that. I find out that whenever I put a ton of rules on myself for my workout, it takes a lot of my enjoyment out of it. I could sit here and work out for 2, 3, 4 hours, go eat, come back and do it 2, 3, 4 hours. I know a lot of people say that means you're overtraining and you're not actually getting this intense of a workout. My theory is that if you lift more weight, whether it's your body weight doing more push-ups, whether it's lifting actual iron or steel, if you're doing more, you're going to get a better benefit out of it. Now, eventually, yes, your body is going to wear out and you're going to get to a spot where you're like, I just don't want to do anything. Most people don't get to that. With America being so predominantly overweight, most people are never going to get to that spot where they're overtraining. People that are endurance athletes and extreme athletes and people that are just obsessed with working out, yeah, you might end up getting there and you're going to have to end up taking a day, 2, 3 days off. I notice every now and then I'll just get burned out, and then I'll take 1, 2 days off, and then I feel that the second, third day, when I come back, I'm way better at it, feel way more fresh. But I mean, I enjoy working out every day. So my theory is, the more you lift, the more you exercise, odds are it's going to be a lot harder for most people to overtrain and get to the spot where they're wiped out. Now, if you're in a spot where you haven't worked out a ton, doing 10 push-ups every single day for a month, it's going to feel like you're wiped at the beginning. So you got to take it based on how your body feels. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to give anybody, this is never going to hurt you statements, because any type of working out, it's putting stress on the body. In theory, as long as your body's healthy enough to adapt, the stress is going to increase what you're able to do. It's rarely going to hurt you. Now, if you don't pay attention to what your body's telling you, I know I've definitely, whenever I started getting into doing 100 reps of everything, that was, something after I did, 100 push-ups for 30 days last year, at the end of last year, I was loving the idea, just whether it took all day long, whether it took an hour or whatever it was to get 100 push-ups in, that really jumped me up, and I was able to, notice and see the benefits, physically feel it and physically see it. And so then I started doing benches. And I was bench pressing at least 100 a day for a while, and I definitely noticed that spot, like I'm talking about with the dumbbells wearing right at the front. It was a much more painful. It wasn't feeling like I was worn out, where you got a good workout. It was feeling like I was almost tearing something, but I was committed to actually doing 100 bench press every single time. So the problem was, I was committed to doing it even though my body was saying, hey, you need to slow down. So eventually, I think it was after a week or so, doing 100 every single day, I had to stop it for a few days and then just decided to get like 50 in. So after I took a little bit of a break, I was doing like 50, and then I was doing push-ups too. The thing is push-ups and bench press work similar muscles. So that front spot of your, right at the corner where your shoulder and your bicep and your pectoral muscles are all coming together in that area, you really will notice it. And if you don't pay attention when your body's saying slow down and stop, then you could end up doing some damage. So always listen to your body. That's the number one. So let's go ahead and jump into a little bit more workout. So that was the workout today. Like I said, I had enough energy to go ahead and hit a few other things. Oh, I'm gonna go ahead and knock out some pull-ups. I almost forgot. All right, so I was able to knock out 10 pull-ups. Whew, definitely feels better. All right, so day 3, feeling pretty good. Day 4 tomorrow is going to be Sunday, and then from there, day 5 on, I'll be having a full work day in there as well. I work behind the desk on a computer, so it's going to be a lot easier though. So day 3.